It ain't even gonna be close at 154.
So he'll rule 154.
Easy.
He would have fought and made it a fight, but Jaron is too much.
Guy is talented and has the skill level that Boots has. Anything can happen, but don't get it wrong. Bud has that skill level too, so.
Terence Crawford has reached a level that very few fighters in boxing history can claim. After conquering multiple weight divisions, he silenced every remaining doubter by moving up and defeating Canelo Alvarez, becoming the first fighter to achieve undisputed status in 3 different divisions. That historic victory cemented his place among the sport's all-time greats. Now, with nothing left to prove to many fans, one massive question remains. Who can truly challenge the man sitting on top of boxing?
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
Many believe the answer is Jaron Boots Ennis. Undefeated, explosive, and overflowing with confidence, Ennis has emerged as the biggest threat to Crawford's reign. This is no ordinary title fight. It's a battle between the established king and the young contender determined to take over the throne. For many boxing fans, this has become the most exciting matchup that can be made today.
Who they are cancels out each other as far as height. You know, they both switch hitters, lift, and everything. All of that cancels out each other. So they are literally the same people, pretty much.
Ennis has built an impressive reputation of his own. With an unbeaten record and an incredible knockout percentage, he has proven he is far more than just another rising prospect. His combination of speed, power, athleticism, and his ability to switch stances has drawn constant comparisons to Crawford himself. But while many fighters look good against average opposition, Ennis has consistently shown the ability to dominate and finish fights in spectacular fashion, making him one of boxing's brightest stars.
Much. He's just too much. When you got somebody who is just so intuitive in the ring, so intelligent in the ring, and then got the speed and the quickness, the agility, the power, clearly, the everything to back it up, it's like he's too much.
Support for Boots continues to grow every day. Philadelphia icon Meek Mill has openly backed his hometown fighter, calling him a future legend and warning that Crawford could soon experience exactly why Philadelphia continues to produce elite champions. After Ennis delivered another highlight reel knockout, many fans began believing he could eventually become the man to replace Crawford at the top of the sport.
The difference is Crawford done been in the big stage against big fighters so many times. And also with age, he didn't beat up his body, so his age is actually good. He got the grown man strength. He not just grown man strength, but he built on top of that. Like, look at him at 135. He was a little scrawny dude. He wasn't a big dude. Now look at him. He ripped up everything. He's strong. So sure. I feel like he got everything, all the experience, all the knowledge. So I got to go with Crawford.
That is exactly why this potential matchup feels so important. Boots Ennis is no longer viewed as simply another mandatory challenger. Many now see him as the biggest obstacle standing in Crawford's path. He represents youth, confidence, and the future of boxing. If Crawford decides to face him, it won't just be another title defense. It could become the defining fight of an entire generation, with legacy, respect, and boxing history all hanging in the balance.
That my TV paused as soon as he knocked him out. That was crazy as shit. But shout out to Boots. Boots the next legend to come up in this shit.
How does Crawford and Boots play out, Meek?
Crawford and Boots play out? I'm rocking with Boots, of course. I'm from Philly. Crawford, you already know you about to meet this Philly shit. It's all love, but you about to see what this Philly shit about. We real monsters. Let's get it.
One man whose opinion carries real weight is Sean Porter. Unlike most analysts, Porter has experienced Crawford's abilities firsthand inside the ring and has also shared sparring sessions with Jaron Boots Ennis. That gives him a unique perspective very few people have. Porter believes this matchup is far more competitive than many realize because he knows exactly how dangerous both fighters truly are.
What we know?
I know everything.
I don't know nothing. I'm trying to find out what I know. Enlighten me.
What you mean enlighten me? You for Devonese and you could for me.
You jumped up out of my sanction body to go fight in the IBF. So what I know?
What you mean?
What you mean? What I mean? Would you rank that in the WBA or not?
Yo, it don't even matter. Yo,
all right, catch up, little homie. Catch up, then. If it don't matter, catch up.
Yo, he picked Evanesian.
Catch up.
Evanesian was way under.
You just said it don't matter. Catch up. I'm talking about before that.
He not about it. We already know he not about what he's talking about.
I'm not about what? I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
You said I'm not about what?
You don't want to fight.
Man, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Right, go ahead.
You dreaming, man. You talking in your dreams, man.
Don't want to fight. Yo, we asked for that fight plenty of times, yo.
When?
Plenty of times.
What's plenty? When?
Man,
you front.
You know what's up.
During one episode of his podcast, Porter recalled sparring with Ennis and admitted he immediately recognized the young star's incredible talent. One perfectly timed right hand caught his attention and reminded him that Boots possesses genuine elite-level power. It was a moment that convinced Porter Ennis isn't simply another prospect. He's a legitimate championship-caliber fighter capable of troubling anyone in boxing.
You had one of them in eights and the other in sparring?
I don't know, because that dude hit me with a right hand in the sparring, and I was like, I was like, yo, that was real.
It's one of those things where...
Having shared the ring with both men, Porter refuses to confidently predict a winner. He describes the matchup as one of the most evenly balanced fights the sport could produce today. In his opinion, it would be a battle between two complete fighters operating at the highest possible level. He even compared its potential significance to some of boxing's greatest legendary rivalries, believing fans would witness something truly special if it ever became reality.
I was an alpha male until I got in the ring with that dude.
It just,
that dude, like, it was like, the more he wasn't allowing me to do what he wasn't, and it was like, damn, okay, well then shit, you know?
Porter's co-host offered another interesting comparison. He described Boots Ennis as the exciting new superstar, comparing him to explosive athletes who changed their generation with incredible athleticism and highlight performances. Crawford, meanwhile, was compared to legendary champions whose greatness was built through years of consistency, intelligence, and championship success. It perfectly illustrates why this matchup has captured the imagination of boxing fans everywhere.
What would have happened, the version of Ennis here in 25 that you sparred in Philly against the version of Crawford in 21 that you fought, what would that have looked like?
I truly don't know, because Terence is just...
Somebody getting stopped.
I don't know. This fight right here, if this fight were to happen this year, it will go down in history as one of the classic fights that go with the Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns, that go with the Ray Leonard and all of those guys.
What fight I always thought these two would resemble their own way was when James Toney would fight Mike McCallum.
Oh, wow.
And they would have... Go watch those fights. You will see the highest level of exchanges in boxing.
Don't.
Yeah. Counter. Like just
with speed and power.
I just think
and creativity.
You just don't see that. That's what this would have been.
Yep.
100%.
A plus versus A.
That's A plus versus A. I like that.
Terrence just a little too much and will catch him. And buzz Boots. And I think that'll. I think Terrence stops him late.
It's such a special fight because you got two alpha males in the ring that are true alpha males. You know what I mean?
The biggest question remains simple. Is Ennis simply the next great young talent ready to entertain fans? Or is he truly capable of defeating one of the smartest fighters the sport has ever seen? Crawford has built his reputation on solving every puzzle placed in front of him. His ring IQ, adaptability, and championship experience have carried him through every challenge so far. If Boots wants to become boxing's next king, he'll have to prove he can solve the greatest puzzle of them all.
Like if Sean fought Floyd Mayweather. I thought that was good.
I'd compare it to this. Jaron Ennis, Terence Crawford. Jaron Ennis is Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. Terence Crawford's Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan.
There you go.
Perfect. A plus A.
And if you just look at the highlight reels, You might actually think Vince
he got
Carter
shot.
is better.
You
might think Vince Carter is even better.
Yeah, that's
or
perfect,
Tracy.
yeah.
So that,
that's
just like that.
He can't explain it even better.
Another voice backing Crawford is rapper Gilly the Kid, who witnessed Bud's historic victory over Canelo Alvarez firsthand. Gilly believes that performance proved Crawford belongs in a class of his own. Despite giving Ennis plenty of credit, he argues that Crawford's greatest strength is his ability to adjust during a fight. No matter what style an opponent brings, Bud always seems to find the answer before the final bell.
This Boots versus Terence Crawford, what does that look like?
I don't know yet, cause we haven't seen Boots in against a guy that has touched him good enough to really test his chin. So we don't. That's the only thing we don't know about him yet. We don't know if he can take the real punch yet because we haven't seen it. But as far as the skill goes, he got everything, and that fight could be a very difficult fight because he has everything.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has repeatedly described Crawford versus Ennis as the biggest fight that can currently be made in American boxing. He sees Ennis as the next superstar waiting to inherit the throne, while Crawford remains the champion every young fighter wants to challenge. It is the perfect clash between today's ruler and tomorrow's potential king.
Me about them.
Boots is the guy.
How does that fight play out? The super fight, Crawford versus Boots.
I went to the Crawford fight
I was there
in Vegas. I'm not gonna hold you. He really, really surprised me. I'm talking about in a good way, like it was next level. You know, because everybody was talking about how homie was gonna be too big for him, too powerful. Canelo, how he was gonna be too overpower him, and it was none of that. Actually, he wasn't even that. He ain't even really that bigger than him.
He didn't break a sweat, right?
Yeah. That was light work. He took him all the way out of his fight. Very impressive.
Even so, there are still hurdles before the fight can happen. Ennis continues building his resume, while Crawford carefully considers the biggest opportunities remaining in his legendary career. Many insiders believe this is the ultimate changing of the guard matchup. Crawford has already achieved everything the sport can offer, while Ennis is determined to prove that a new era has officially arrived.
Jaron Ennis against Terence Crawford is the fight. And that can be at 54, it can be at 60. You know, obviously we've got Lima to take care of first, but that for me is one of the great, crossover fights, because Boots is the changing of the guard guy. And Crawford's the guy that's been there and done it all and just proved, that he's still very much in.
Across the boxing world, one opinion continues to surface. Most experts agree that Crawford has already defeated champions across multiple divisions and built one of the greatest resumes in modern boxing. However, many also believe Ennis possesses the complete package: speed, power, athleticism, ring IQ, and confidence to become the toughest opponent Crawford has ever faced. That possibility alone has made this one of boxing's most talked about dream fights.
Right now in my career, a lot of people like boost this, boost that, boost this. Fighting Boots is a lose-lose situation. I win, they're gonna say, oh well, he was young, he wasn't ready. He was talented, he was skillful, but you got the experience over him. You got, so much more than this kid that never been tested before. Me fighting Boots will be like, okay, well, you beat Boots.
Following his career-defining victory over Canelo Alvarez, Crawford was once again asked about a potential showdown with Boots Ennis. His response immediately grabbed headlines. While acknowledging Ennis' talent, Crawford made it clear that every future fight must add something meaningful to his legacy. At this stage of his career, he is focused on history, championship opportunities, and the biggest possible events before eventually walking away from the sport.
Would you consider going back down to 154 and face Jaron Ennis, the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight?
No. I ain't going down 154.
Crawford has also addressed the weight issue surrounding a potential fight. He has made it clear that he has no intention of dropping back down if it compromises his performance. From his perspective, the challenge is for Ennis to continue climbing the divisions, just as he did throughout his own career. Crawford believes true greatness comes from chasing bigger challenges, not asking established champions to move backward.
About the Terence Crawford fight, I'm tired of answering questions about it. He already said millions of times that he not fighting me or looking my way, so I'm just tired of answering no questions, And if a fight happened, it happened. I wanted it to happen, but if not, yeah.
Supporters of Ennis see things differently. They believe Boots has everything needed to dominate the junior middleweight division before eventually moving even higher. Some analysts argue that his blend of size, speed, and power makes him a future champion in multiple weight classes. If he continues winning impressively, many believe a showdown with Crawford will become impossible to avoid.
Versus Lima. Who is this Lima guy though, bro? This is what Boots does though. Boots fights this level of opposition. He hasn't fought anyone that's like an A-tier fighter. But what he does is amazing. Like when he was southpaw, he come out and normally comes out, he's like a bit of a switch hitter. Normally starts in southpaw, Ennis, but he come out orthodox. And that, I think that threw Lima off. But once he lays hands on you, it's mad.
It was impressive still. It was impressive to get him out of there. What, 2 knockdowns and then the ref jumps in.
You call me crazy, yeah? I sat there thinking, bud?
I feel like they should fight.
They were supposed to fight.
I know.
They were supposed to fight. I don't. It's like, what's Bud? Why for Bud? Why? Why is Bud fighting that fight? Like, it's a generational fight that he doesn't need to fuck, bro.
Another major factor is business. While Crawford versus Ennis would satisfy hardcore boxing fans, enormous money fights still exist elsewhere. A rematch with Canelo Alvarez or another historic championship opportunity could generate significantly larger purses. Crawford must now balance legacy, financial rewards, and the remaining goals he wants to accomplish before retiring from the sport.
Boots Ennis is in your weight class.
Definitely.
What do you think about him?
Oh, he's very, very talented. He's unproven, but he's very talented.
Yeah.
The eye test tells it all. You know, he's got the it, you know, but we haven't seen him against any elite fighter. We never seen him tested. So until then, you know, we just going to keep saying, oh, Boots, 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 until he meet that fighter that's going to test him.
Is that a fight that you would be interested in?
Nah, it just don't make sense right now in my career. Like I said, like, especially money-wise, don't nobody really know Boots, but I'm looking for bigger and better challenges like Canelo.
You're just looking for the big ones.
Yeah.
The big fish.
Yeah.
Fish fry.
Definitely. Definitely. Them the guys I'm looking for, you know.
That is why opinions remain divided throughout the boxing world. Some believe Crawford should face the most dangerous challenger available and remove every remaining question about his greatness. Others feel he has already earned the right to pursue only the biggest events and highest-paying opportunities. Regardless of which side fans support, one thing is undeniable. Crawford versus Ennis has become one of the most anticipated fights in boxing.
He wants 2 or 3 more fights. What fights do you think he should take?
Okay, one is the rematch. Then yeah, I mean, I would like to see Boots get a real shot. So yeah, why not? Did Crawford never fought Teofimo, right?
No, Teofimo's too light.
Too light, right?
Yeah, he's at 140 pounds. Crawford's at 168. He'll move down to 154, 160 to fight Boots. At 168?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of competition. The guy that just knocked out Berlanga, Hazma. Nobody really probably wants to see that. Everybody's calling for Boots. So, you know, the 2 skilled fighters, they both switch hitters.
And they counter punches.
Yeah, definitely, man. You have any, like, you lean towards anybody? Or you like
Crawford,
50-50?
man. Crawford, though, right? Because, I mean, he's showing the propensity to be able to adapt to any fighter. You know what I mean?
As Crawford approaches the final chapter of his remarkable career, he faces a defining decision. He can continue chasing history, pursue another blockbuster payday, or step into the ring with a hungry young contender determined to take everything he has built. If the fight with Jaron Boots Ennis ever becomes official, it won't simply decide a winner. It could determine the future face of boxing. Will Crawford strengthen his legendary legacy one final time, or will Ennis complete the changing of the guard and begin a new era? Let us know your prediction in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next boxing update.